Hello everyone, my name is Sayyidman Qadri, founder of the BIM Skills. So in today's video, we will discuss how BIM is useful for implementing GIS for the construction projects. So as you know, we are trying to cover very rare topics where the candidates, they don't have the idea, or if they have the idea, they don't know or they don't have the clarity how exactly BIM is useful for GIS integration. So as you know, like parallelly at the BIM Skills, we provide consulting services. Okay, so that's why whatever the knowledge we are getting from implementation of projects, we are also trying to share with you people so that you can have the latest knowledge. So subscribe our channel and keep updated yourself with latest knowledge. So already you know about BIM. I hope you heard about. So if you didn't, then I suggest you to watch some of our videos in the channel we created previously. That is nothing but building information modeling. So we know building information modeling means to build information model. So this is like one of the latest technologies in the AEC sector. AEC is nothing but architecture, engineering and construction. So we are using this technology to do the construction projects like how we used to do in the traditional way. Like we use some 2D drafting softwares, we use some 3D modeling softwares, and we use some data like sheet softwares like Excel for estimation, and some 3D softwares for 3D modeling and rendering, and some 2D drafting software for creating like drawings. So in the traditional way, all of these three softwares are not interlinked. So if you do some changes in, for example, 2D softwares like drawing, okay, if you do some changes in plan, and manually you need to do changes in elevation. Again, if you do some changes in elevation, again manually you need to do some changes in sections. So again, if you do some changes in 2D, you need to update your 3D model. So that is there into some different software. So again, if you do the changes in 2D and 3D, you need to track and you need to remember, and manually again you need to update the Excel. If you forget the Excel, then maybe whatever the quantity you extracted previously, there is a difference in between both. So that's why we use BIM, where we are creating one intelligent 3D model. Okay, that's like every view now it is linked. So in the BIM, you create one intelligent 3D model. Along with that, in one software itself, you are having the 2D like plan, elevation, sections, and the details. Also, you are having the quantity takeoffs. So in BIM, in the model, if you change anything in 3D, automatically it will be updated in 2D, and automatically it will be updated in schedules. In the same way, if you change anything in 2D, automatically it will be updated in 3D, and automatically it will be updated in schedules. So that is nothing but BIM. So, and how now BIM is related to GIS? You see, GIS means we create some spatial data, we create the maps in which, for example, there is a pipe in reality, underground pipe. So here using some GIS softwares, like we create one line here. Okay, like this is nothing but line future class. Okay, so in GIS we are having something called as future classes, and already GIS long form already you people may be knowing, geographical information system. Okay, so here we have a line which is nothing but future class. In the same way, for this line, let's say this line is getting bent. Okay, so here we will be having a fitting that is nothing but 90-degree bend. So we add one point here. So that is nothing but point feature class. Okay, in the same way, again, if this pipe is getting bent, so we'll be having one more point here. So what we do, we create a map. Along with that, we are having some tables in GIS software which is called as attribute table. Okay, so what we do, same like BIM. In BIM model also, if you see, we'll be having a pipe in 3D or 2D, and if you select that pipe, you can get some properties in BIM model. Like for example, if there is one drainage pipe, so in BIM, if I select that pipe, I will get the properties like what is the system of pipe, what is the diameter of pipe, what is the slope of the pipe, what is the length of the pipe. Each and every information we will get. In the similar way, in GIS also, the same pipe we are showcasing through the line. Okay, like if you go for 2D GIS, BIM is 3D. I am talking about 2D GIS, but GIS can be there in 3D also. But currently I am discussing about 2D GIS. So whatever the pipe we are showcasing in BIM, the same pipe we showcase in the future class line. And if you select that line, again in GIS software, you will be having attribute table. In the attribute table, it will show you all the data. Okay, see, show means first we need to create all of this data. This is also one service to take all the information from your BIM model and include into the GIS database. Okay, so we need to create this one. Once we create, later if you select the line, that is nothing but pipe, you will get all information here. That is nothing but what is the start level of pipe, what is the end level of pipe, what is the slope, and who created this feature class, what is the diameter, what is the outer diameter, inner diameter, what is going through this pipe, okay, maybe like water, what exactly the maybe medium is, from the topographical surface, how much is the depth, that information also we can add. So in future it can be used to create a complete database, and also will be useful for maintenance. Okay, and this service is also becoming common because there is a term which is called as TOC. TOC is nothing but taking over certificate. So at the end of project, it is also getting compulsory for the contracting companies to submit GIS from BIM. Then only the contractors will get the TOC. In future I will explain what is TOC. Okay, so here in GIS we are taking the model in 2D, and okay, and we are getting the pipe, maybe like pipe fitting. If we have any manhole, for example, let's say this pipe is connected to manhole, so we are creating one more feature class which is nothing but surface, and that surface feature class in GIS it is called as polygon. Okay, so we are having point feature class, line feature class, we are having polygon feature class. So if we have like surface type of element, we are using polygon. For pipe we are using line, for fitting we are using point. If we have any walls in between the pipe, again we are using the point only. Okay, so here for points we are having a table, attribute table. For lines we will be having a table, for polygons we will be having a table. So we have the feature class, along with that we have the attribute table. Okay, that is nothing but GIS. In coming videos I will explain exactly what GIS is. In this video we are understanding how BIM is useful for GIS. So BIM is nothing but, as I said, it's a complete 3D model. Whatever the information you are having, you will get into one BIM model. Because in CAD I discuss information is scattered, right? You are having different plans, different drawings. Let's say you are having 1000 drawings. Okay, so from 1000 drawings you need to take the data and implement GIS. But BIM is nothing but you are having one BIM model, okay, from which you can get the information. Now what is better, to get the data from 1000 drawings or to get the data from one BIM model? And also in drawing, in 2D AutoCAD, in any drawing, like if you are having a line, if you select that and check for the properties, you will not get much information, and that is not totally useful for GIS implementation. But BIM model, already we discussed, if you select a pipe you will get a lot of information. That information can be directly exported to Excel, and from Excel it can be filled into attribute table. So in that way BIM is much more helpful in implementing GIS when compared to different 2D CAD drawings. Okay, so I hope you understood how BIM is useful into GIS, and you understood the difference between CAD and BIM. Also you understood what is GIS. In coming videos we will create we'll be having more topics in explaining what GIS is. Again we can create a series of videos how BIM is useful for GIS and all, and we'll create video on what is TOC, etc. So thank you very much for watching this video. Stay updated, subscribe our channel, the BIM Skills, to get more videos like this. Thank you.